This is a very basic N8N automation that will allow you to find out top Instagram performing reels or posts from the list of creators that you have. Imagine this, I want to find out top performing post from this list of creators so that I can easily emulate and understand what is working for their audience so that I can create something similar in that topic. Again, it is very basic and simple automation. The main goal of this automation is get you to understand how you can use Airtable to store your data and how you can use sort and limit nodes inside N8N. So let's test this workflow so that you can see what we are going to build in this lecture. Awesome. So top 5 Instagram reel that has performed the best for my account has been stored inside our Airtable. Here you can see the creator name, the reel URL in case you want to check it out in real life, which caption they were using, the view count. So this is my top performing post, likes, comments, etc. and date and times. You can add further data points if you like from reel, but I think these data points are sufficient. Awesome. So let's start everything from scratch and I will show you how you can set up Airtable as well as how you can find out or scrape out top Instagram reels or posts from the list of creators that you have inside your Google Sheet, inside your Airtable. The only reason I'm using Airtable is we have been using Google Sheet in every other lecture. That's why I thought let's use Airtable this time. Alright, so let's start from scratch. The first thing I will do is I will use a schedule trigger. So let's say once a week, once a month, I want to find out top Instagram performing post from the competitors or the creators I have in my niche. So you can easily schedule this trigger, but as we are testing out, we are going to trigger this manually. We are going to use manual trigger. The next thing we want to do is we want to get our source of content creators or list of creators from our database. In this example, we are using Airtable, but feel free to use, let's say, any other CRM solution like Go High Level, ClickUp, Notion, or even a Google Sheet. So let's use Airtable. And what we are doing inside Airtable is we are searching from list of creators. So we are going to use search records. First of all, we need to set up our credentials. So I will show you how you can do that. So log in or sign up with this link so that you can get $10 free credits in Airtable. This link will be in the resource section so that you can easily click and sign up or log in with your Airtable account. First thing we want to do is we want to create a new table. So let's start from scratch. First of all, let us name our base as Instagram Reel Scraper. You can customize it as per your liking. And if you have already existing data in your Google Sheet Excel, you can easily paste it inside your Airtable. Then we have to create two tables. First for getting the list of creators and second storing all the Instagram reels, top Instagram reels of those creators. So let's name this table as list of creators. Let's add a new table. We are going to say best performing reels. Then we have to name our columns. So let us go to first of all list of creators. We don't want any of these columns. So let's delete this. So let's say we have Manthan Patel in our list of creators that we want to scrape out and find out his top performing Instagram reels. So all I need to do is add Instagram ID of this creator. So my Instagram ID is LeadGenMan, so I will do that. Feel free to add other creators as per your liking, but as this is in a demo, I'm only using one record. Now for best performing reels, what are the things that we want to scrape out? Again, let's delete all of this. First of all, we will use creator name and we can store this inside single line. Then we want to know the URL of that top performing Instagram reel. So we are going to use URL as we are storing URL. We are going to say reel URL or reel. Then we want to store the caption or the copy that they have used. So we will say caption and the type is long text. Now we want to find out the views, like counts, comment counts. So as they are number, we are going to select numbers. And you can also format as per your liking. So I want my decimal place to be this and I want to separate by thousands. We will do the same for likes. Let's duplicate this and again same for comment counts. Last but not least, we want to know the date and the time they have posted. So date and time. So we can also include time. We can format it in according to 12 hours. Yeah. So these are the data points that we want to analyze and find out from this list of creators. But first of all, we need to connect our Airtable account. So go to your profile, then click on Builders Hub. So you need to give access token inside your N8N credentials. As you can see, I already have access tokens, but yet again create new. So we're going to say N8N and we need to add the scopes. So you can easily find the scope from N8N. So let's add new credential and you can see these are the scopes. So the scope is data read, data write, and schema read. So click on add a scope. So this is data read and write. Add both of these and schema read. Now for access to our base, we want to access all the future base so that I don't have to come here again and give access to a particular base that we will create in future. Plus we can also give access to a specific base. In our example, Instagram Reel Scraper. Then let's create token, copy this and then paste it here. Click on save. It should display connection tested successfully. So tada, you have connected your Airtable with your N8N. The operation we are doing is we want to find out the list of creators, which is search. And now you will be able to find the bases that you have inside Airtable. So we will select Instagram Reel Scraper. So we want to get the list of creators from our first table. Then let us click on test tab. And here we go. We got the record from our Airtable. Next, what we want to do is we want to find out the top performing Instagram posts. So in order to do that, we are going to use Epify. If you don't know what is Epify, Epify is the biggest directory of scrapers. You can scrape out TikTok videos, Google Map queries, Instagram Reels. So let's use this one. And you can also use 25 month-end to get 25% off on any Epify paid plans. But don't worry, you can test it out for free as well. Awesome. So this is our Instagram scraper that will cost around $2.7 per 1000 scrape. I think it's basically for free. So in order to connect our Epify actor with our N8N workflow, we are going to use HTTP request. Why? Because there is no native integration of Epify inside N8N. So we are going to use HTTP request. So we have to fill in all of this information. But don't worry, you don't have to do a thing. I will show you how you can fill out all of these details on its own. So as we are attaching endpoints, click on API endpoints. And then we are going to use this actor. Run actor, and we want to get the data item inside N8N. Click on API reference. And you don't need to be a developer or coder in order to connect Epify actors inside N8N. It is very easy. So make sure that it's a curl code, then simply just copy this and use import from curl code. Paste the curl code and click on import. So all the method, URL, specific headers that you need, the JSON will be added automatically. Make sense? The only thing we need to do is add specific JSON or add specific search query that we like and our Epify API key. So instead of this token, we will add our API key. Just go to API and integration, copy your API key, paste it here, and there you go. Now for JSON, we want to customize it according to our liking. And don't worry, you don't have to write JSON on your own. We are going to use this selection menu so that it will automatically write JSON for us. So there are two options. The first is we can modify it. For example, I want to find out reels from lead gen man, right? So if we go to JSON, you can see it will automatically update the JSON code as per our selection here. Next, we want to scrape out post, obviously. Then this is the max result per URL. So let's say I want to scrape out 200 reels from this creator. So yeah, as this is a demo, I just want to scrape out top 20 or top 30 reels from this list of creators. Then for newer, then I'm going to use relative. Relative basically means I want to find out new post from last 15 days from this creator. I hope this makes sense. Yeah, that's pretty much all you need. Feel free to customize it as per your liking. Then if we go to JSON, as you can see, it will automatically update the JSON code as per our selection. So the result limit is 20. We will only scrape 20 reels from this creator. We will only get the new reels from past 15 days. So let's simply copy this code, and we cannot paste the code using the field below. So we're going to use JSON for that. Click on expression. Let's open this and paste the code here. The one thing we need to do is just change the Instagram ID from our creator list inside Airtable. Yeah, so as you can see, Instagram.leadgenman. Then let us click on test tab. Yeah, so actor was not found. So what we want to do is we want to replace this actor ID with the actor ID that we are using right now. So you will be able to find the actor ID from the URL that starts from S and end with capital W. Copy this and paste it here. Click on test tab, and this actor ID will be different for every actor. Yeah, it is working now as it is taking the time to scrape out 20 Instagram reels. Awesome. So we have the data here. So right now we are inside table view, but I always prefer to use schema view because I'm not a coder and I don't want to use JSON at all. By using schema view, I can easily understand what is going on. So we are able to find out the caption of this reel, the hashtags that are used, the URL of the reel, the comment count, the like count, view count, etc, etc. Awesome. So this is for only one item and we have 20 different items. So what we want to do is we want to add all of this data inside our Airtable, but we only want to find out, let's say, top 3 performing posts or top 5 performing posts of this creator. So what we are going to do is we are going to add a sort node that will sort the top performing post. Click on add fields, and how we are going to sort this Instagram reel is by their view count, but feel free to customize it according to, let's say, like count, comment count, whatever you're going after. So I want to sort by using view count. So I will select descending. Descending will get me the top Instagram post first, second, third. And if I select ascending, the first record of the Instagram reel will have the least amount of views. So I will select descending. And yeah, if we are doing for 2 or 3 or 10 different creators, we want to add a loop. So we are going to introduce a loop over here. Nothing too crazy. What we are doing is we are looping one creator from our Airtable at a time. So let's loop this. Then from these 20 items, we only want to find out top 5 performing Instagram posts. So we're going to apply limit function that will limit only top 5 or top 3, whatever you like. In this example, I'm using top 5 Instagram posts or Instagram reels. Let's pin this data so that we don't have to run this actor again and again as we are testing out. Awesome. So if we click on test tab, as you can see, we have the top 5 Instagram reels here. Now simply we want to add this data to Airtable. But again, one thing is we have to add a loop because we don't want to add all of these 5 reels inside one record. We want to have it in separate records. That's why we're going to use loop again. That will add one record at a time to our Airtable. Let's delete this. So we want to loop our Airtable. And what we are doing is we are creating new records. So select create a new record option. Then let's select our base, which is Instagram Reel Scraper. And this time table will be this one, best performing reels. We will map each columns manually. So to get the payload, click on test tab. You will find the view count here, the like count, and the comment count here. Simply drag and drop inside your Airtable columns. Now for date and time, here it is. But the problem is I don't want to use this timestamp. So what I will do is I will just simply copy this or take a screenshot of this. I want to display it in this format. Let's say the date and then comma and then time in this format. But it is so hard to read this. So what we will do is we will just take a screenshot of it. We will go to Perplexity, upload this timestamp, and we will say we want to convert this into readable simple date and time format. So it will give you the expression. Let's copy this expression and paste it here. Awesome. So this is what we exactly wanted. PM, AM, the time and the date. Yeah, that's pretty much all you need to do, and make sure that you enable this option of typecast. So click on typecast, enable this option. Now let us click on test tab. So all the top 5 performing Instagram reels have been uploaded inside our Airtable. Awesome, there you go. You can also get the reel URL so that in case you want to check it out in real life, you can do it straight away from here. So that's how you can create this basic automation that will help you to find out your competitor's top performing Instagram reel or post so that you can emulate that action as well as understand what topic is working in your niche. That's all from my side. This N8N automation will be in the resource section, so make sure to check it out. This N8N automation will find out all the top tweets from X or Twitter with the specific keyword that you are going after. In this example, I want to find out all the top tweets about the keyword AI. And here you go. In our Google Sheet, we have the content or the copy, the URL of that X or Twitter link, the likes, number of retweets, replies, quotes, and date published. I want to find out top tweets from past 5 days. So current date is 8th June. So we have for 7 June, for 6 June, for 5 till 3rd. Basically what I'm trying to say is it will find out top 20 tweets from each day, and it's totally customizable. If you want to find out from, let's say, past 7 days or past 3 days, it's totally up to you. So that's what we are going to build in this lecture. So let's start everything from scratch. Instead of using Google Sheet, you can also use Airtable. It's up to your choice. The first node will be obviously going to a trigger node. In this example, I want to schedule it to run it every single 5 days or every single 3 days. But as this is a demo, I will use manual trigger to trigger this workflow. Next, what I want to define is which specific term or keyword that you want to find out viral tweets. So we are going to use set field or edit fields for that. Basically set node or edit field node. So we can say the search term is AI or cold emails. In this example, I'm using AI and from how much past couple of days. So let's say I want to find out top performing tweets from past 3 days. So right now it's 8th June. So it will find out for 7, 6 and 5. I hope this makes sense. If you want to find it out for, let's say, 6 days or 2 days, it's totally up to your choice. But in this example, I'm using the search term AI and I want to find out top tweets from last 3 days. The reason I'm not using current date is because imagine this, someone just posted anything about AI topic and it is gaining that virality, but we need to wait for at least 1 day to make sure that post is actually viral and has some virality. Next, we have to define the logic saying that today's date is this date, but I want to find out from last 3 dates. That's why we are going to use a code node. Again, what I'm trying to say here is today's date is 8th June, but I don't want to find out any viral tweets from today. I want to find out from past 3 days, which is 7, 6 and 5. So this is what we are doing inside this code node, which is separating 7, 6 and 5. We are saying, hey, first of all, find out top 20 tweets from 7th June, then do the same for 6th June and 5th June. And it's fully dynamic, so don't worry about hard coding the date. You have to come up with the code on your own, but don't worry, I am here. I have used this code, or I have generated this code by using ChatGPT. I haven't tried a single line of code. So what it will do is, let us execute steps so that you can understand it in much better way. So what it will do is it will scrape out from last 3 dates, and this is the search term. Yeah, and don't worry about this code will be in the resource section, so make sure to check it out. Next, as we have divided into 3 items, we have to use loop in order to make sure that we only process 1 item at a time. So we're going to use a loop node for that. Let's delete this. Next, it's time to find out the top tweets by using this API endpoint of twitterapi.io. Again, they are not paying me to say anything. Even I don't know them or they don't know me, but I have been using it for quite couple of days and it is really good. So log in or sign up with your account, and to be honest, it's basically for free. They are giving around 100k or 100,000 free credits so that you can test it out. And a quick tip is you can easily change your account and get that 100k or 100,000 credits for free once it is over. Yeah, so log in or sign up with your twitterapi.io account and then copy your API key from here. Now, in order to connect this API endpoint inside our end-to-end workflow, we are going to use HTTP request. Therefore, in order to fill out all of this information, we need to go to documentation. So click on documentation. And what we want to do is we want to go to Twitter's advanced search feature and find out specific keyword. So if we go to X. So as you can see, you can easily search for any specific keyword. So let's search for AI, but there's another feature which is of advanced search. So we are going to use this API endpoint, as you can see, this advanced search, to find out specific keywords that you're going after. In our example, AI. I hope this makes sense. So let's go to advanced search, click on try it. Let's enter our API key here. Use your own API key and not mine. The query is AI. The query type is top. We want to find out viral and top performing post and not the latest. Then let's copy this curl code. Make sure you are in curl. Let's copy this and then click on import from curl. Paste the curl code here and boom, all of the things has been filled out for you. The URL, the method, the query type and the query. Now this will be obviously dynamic since we are setting it from here. Yeah, you can easily drag and drop the search term right over here. Yeah, that's all you need to do. And then they will automatically add the API key as well. Now let us click on execute step. So this is tweet 0, which means our first result. We have the Twitter URL, like count, view count, then the author name. Same goes for our second record or second viral tweet. Yeah, so it will give you around top 20 tweets for this specific date. Next, we want to split out all of these tweets. As you can see, we had around 17 tweets, but here you can see in the output it is only one item. So we have to split out all of these 17 items into individual items. So we are going to use code node for that. This code was written by ChatGPT and I haven't write a single line of code. So if we click on execute step, it will divide all of these 17 items from this one array. I hope this makes sense, and pin this data so that you don't waste your credits. Click on execute steps. Awesome. So it has split out the content into separate items. So we have 18 items here. Next, what we want to do is we want to apply sort so that we can find out the top viral performing post in the first record, the second viral performing post in the second record. We have already done this in the last lecture. So we want to sort by view count or reply count, like count, whatever you like. I am using view count to check the virality, and obviously descending. So our first record will have the maximum number of view counts. Then simply we want to add this data, all of these 18 items, to our Airtable, to our Google Sheet, wherever you like. In this example, I am using Google Sheets. So what we are doing is we are adding new rows. So click on append rows in a sheet. Now select your Google Sheet account. Then we have to map all of this field manually. So let's click on execute previous node so that we have some payload. Awesome. So the tweet URL, the content, the like count. So make sure that you go to Google Sheet and create these columns. Feel free to add another data points as you like, but I think these are relevant ones. Because we have so many data here, feel free to play around whatever you want to add inside your Google Sheets. The number of retweets, replies, and the date. Awesome. Then let's loop it back. And now let us click on test workflow. It will find out around 60-ish top performing tweets as we have selected 3 days. So in each day it will find out top 20 performing tweets. So right now our Google Sheet is empty. Let us click on test or execute workflow. Awesome. So this is for day 1, then this is for day 2 and day 3. Yeah, so we are able to find out around 54 items. Awesome. So these are the top performing tweets for this particular date. And we are sorting out by view counts. The main reason or purpose of this lecture was to show you that you can easily find out top performing tweets and you can easily emulate or copy the same content or the same niche. Alright, this resource will be in the resource section, so make sure to check it out. All you need to do is just change the search key term and the page to scrap. For example, if you want to find out from past 5 days, just use 5 here. That's all from my side, and I will see you in the next one. This simple N8N automation will save you so much time in order to find out top performing TikTok reels, and will save them inside your Google Sheet, Airtable, wherever you want, based on the specific keyword that you are going after. See, I want to find out top performing TikTok reels about the keyword N8N and AI agents. And as you can see, it is sorted by the view count and the line count. Plus we have the video URL so that we can see the actual reel instantly without opening TikTok. We have the hashtag, captions, the username. The main purpose of using this amazing automation is you don't have to spend so much time doom scrolling or manually figuring out what is the best performing content and what is working with your audience. Plus it will also give you a daily Gmail notification. Hey, check your new updated Airtable. See, I have my Instagram page that I talk about like N8N AI agents. It is so hard for me to find out new content, or it is so hard for me to reinvent the wheel every single time. That's why by leveraging this simple automation, I can see this topic or this theme is performing really well, so I can easily repurpose those content into my Instagram page, into my TikTok page, and I don't have to spend so much time doom scrolling or on manual research. So let's build this simple automation from scratch, and I will see you on the other side. The first node will be a trigger node. Basically, it will set off our automation. So we want to schedule this automation every single day, every single week. It's totally customizable to you. But I want to schedule this every single day at 12:30 AM so that I can find the top performing TikTok videos from the last day about these specific keywords. Yeah, again, it's totally customizable to you. If you are in skincare, if you are in beauty and fragrance, just change the keyword here. But as my niche is N8N and AI agents, I want to find out top performing TikTok videos about these keywords, right? So we want to launch of this automation at midnight or 1 a.m. Yeah, I think that's cool. Then the next thing we want to do is we want to actually get the keywords from our Airtable. So you don't have to configure anything here. You can simply just add keywords, delete keywords right from Airtable. So just create a new base inside Airtable and create two tables. The first is topics and the second is for Reels. Name the column as name and enter your keywords here. So we will search for Airtable, and what we want to do is we want to get this list, or we want to search for these keywords. So we will select search for records. Then let's select our base. In my example, the name of the base is find viral TikTok reels. Same goes for the table, which is topics. And we want to return all of our data inside Airtable. So let us click on execute step. Awesome. So we have our two keywords from Airtable here. Next, we want to use an Epify actor that will scrape out top performing TikTok reels. So let's go to Epify. And if you want 25% off, you can use the code 25monthan to get 25% off on any Epify plans. So let us search for TikTok scraper. Awesome. So we have all of these results, but we can use pay per result as we don't want to invest anything upfront. So open this, click on try for free. So it will scrape out 1000 TikTok reels for 30 pennies only. It's basically for free. So in order to connect our Epify actor inside our N8N workflow, we are going to use HTTP request. Search for HTTP request, and don't worry, you don't have to fill in any of this information. We are going to use this import from curl button. So click on APIs and select API endpoint. Then scroll down and make sure that you are inside run actor synchronously and get the data item. Then click on view API reference. So it will open the documentation for this specific actor. Now again, you don't have to do any configuration on your own. Just make sure that you are inside curl code and then simply copy this entire code. Click on copy, click on import from curl and paste the code that we just pasted. Click on import and boom, all of this data will be filled on its own. As you can see, the method, URL, the headers as well as the JSON. We do need to add the JSON manually. I will show you how we can do that. But first of all, we need to enter our Epify API key. So just go to your account and then grab your API key and paste it over here. Just make sure that you are adding bearer, then space, and then adding your Epify API key. Feel free to use my Epify API key until it is up and running, but don't overuse it. Yeah, another thing we want to change is this actor ID. So let me open it. We want to add the actor ID that we are using. So we are using this actor and you will find the actor ID right over here. So copy this, paste it inside here. Awesome. Next, we want to define the JSON. So obviously we are going to use JSON manual or JSON code, but you don't have to write JSON code on your own. Just go to your actor and we can configure the JSON code right over from here. See, the manual option which allows you to customize the JSON code or customize the features that you want to include as per your liking, and you will get the JSON code right from here. So we will just simply copy this JSON code and paste it inside our N8N. But let's configure our actor. For example, we want to search for keywords N8N, then we want to search for keywords AI agents. And if we go to JSON, you can see the keywords has been added, N8N and AI agents. And if I remove the keyword, it will automatically update the JSON code on its own. So right now we have only one keyword, but let's add AI agent back. Then you can also select the date range. You can also select this week, this month. It's totally up to you. But right now I'm selecting yesterday. Let's say I want to select this week. So if we go to JSON, you can see the date range is this week, but I want for yesterday. Next, you can also select the location and the sort type. Location basically means you can select for a specific country, US, UK, Australia, India, wherever you like. But I don't want to add any location. Same goes for any sort type. Sort type basically means relevance or the most like as well as the date published. Next, you can also customize maximum number of the output ratio. So we only want to get around 15 or 20 videos only. Yeah, so I will input 15. So let's go to our JSON code and we have our JSON code prepared for us. So let's copy this, click on expression. Let's open this and paste it inside here. So for keywords, as we are getting these keywords from our Airtable, we will just simply remove it and drag and drop the keywords from our Airtable. And now let's test our actor. Click on execute step and let's wait for a minute. We are able to fetch out 21 items. So why 21 item even if we mention only 15 max to max item. So it's from two keywords. The first is our N8N keyword and the second is AI agent N8N keyword. So it is able to find a 21 TikTok videos combining both of these keywords. So we have literally everything from those videos and their metadata. For example, the title, the number of views, hashtag used, the channel name, video view, and a lot of things. Next, what we want to do is we want to sort this item into first of all top performing reels only. So let's duplicate this table. Awesome. So we want to sort according to the video view count. So we are going to use a simple sort function or sort node. So we want to sort by number of views. So drag and drop the field here and we want to select descending. So the maximum number of the views will be on the first row inside our Airtable like this. Maximum number of the view, maximum number of the view, maximum number of the view. And then we have 21 items, but I don't want to add all of these items. I want to limit only to, let's say, 10 items, 15 items. So we are going to use a limit node. So I want to only keep first 15 items and not all 21 items. Then we want to simply add this data back to our Airtable inside this new table we have created. So search for Airtable. I hope I'm not going too fast. It is as simple as I can explain. See, we have get the keywords from our Airtable. We have used Epify Extract to scrape out top performing TikTok videos from this keyword. And then why we are applying sort function is we want to find out the top performing TikTok videos according to the view count. That's why by using sort function or sort node, it will help us to do that. And limit node is optional thing here. If you want to add it, feel free to use it. Yeah, so we want to add or create new table inside our Airtable. So let's select our base and then the new table that we just created, which is reel copy. And now click on execute previous node so that we have some payload, and then we can add this value right over here. First is reel ID, second is the username, then caption. So this is the caption, then the hashtag use. So the hashtag right now are in arrays. So we can easily use a join function, dot, and we will say join. We want to join them by comma and then space. Yeah. So that's how we can format your output in much better way by using expression. Then the video counts or view count, like counts, then comment counts. And we are going to use a video URL and not TikTok URL. Why? So I will show you. So using this video URL, you can easily open and watch the TikTok video without opening TikTok. But if you need to open TikTok, we are going to also add the post page or the TikTok URL for that. Yeah, so that's pretty much all. We are left to add timestamp. So where I can find that? Yeah, uploaded at. And now let us click on execute workflow. As you can see, all of the records are being added inside our Airtable and they are all sorted by view counts. We have the video URL here as well as our TikTok URL. Awesome. So that's how you can create this simple N8N automation that will help you to find the top performing TikTok reels so that you don't have to reinvent the wheel on your own. As it is a scheduled trigger, we also want to send a message in Slack or Gmail wherever you want to myself. So we want to send a message to this specific email with the subject line TikTok videos or reels, whatever you like. Then in message we can say, and we can add the Airtable link here. Awesome. Now one problem will be if you execute and run this workflow, all of these 15 items will send 15 Gmails to you. So you don't want to do that, right? So click on settings and use this option execute once only. Otherwise, let me open my Gmail. You will get the same email 15 times if you don't use this execute once button. Alright, so let's test it again. Here is our email as you can see 0 minutes ago with the Airtable link, and we want to remove this. This email was automatically sent with N8N. So just open the Gmail node, click on add option and use append N8N attribution, then disable it, and now it won't use the N8N attribution in your emails as well as in your Telegram messages. Awesome. So that's how you can create this easy N8N automation to save so much of your time in manual research and doom scrolling. This JSON file will be in the resource section, so make sure to check it out. Bye bye, take care, and I will see you in the next one. This N8N workflow will replace most of the email data provider that you are paying hefty living fees. For example, ICPs, Find Emails, Lead Magic, Prospeo, Literally, you don't have to pay a single penny anymore to these email data providers to find out email address. We have used our N8N logic. All we have used is code node, which are free. You don't have to pay again a single penny. All you need to do is just deploy this app or create a new app in Lovable. You can see I have used only 5 prompts, and within these 5 prompts it has created me this lovely SaaS app that I can market or I can repurpose it into similar like find emails or ICPs. Literally, you can find any emails that you want. So let's test a demo. I'm using myself. All you need to do is just enter the first name, last name and the company domain, acquisitionx.pro. You will find this data entry similar in Prospeo where we have first name, last name and the company domain. Same goes for the name in find email, name and the company website, and it will find out email address of that prospect. But we have built this in-house, as well as you can market this and convert it into SaaS. So let's click on find email address, but before that let us enable or test our workflow, activate our workflow basically. And once we click this, yeah, it is executing. So we have connected our Lovable app by using webhook. Again, very simple. I haven't write a single line of code, but still it is able to find out the email address, and I have created this SaaS within just 2 hours, this entire end-to-end workflow and this Lovable app. And don't worry guys, I'm going to show you literally everything starting from scratch. And whenever I'm saying I'm starting from scratch, I mean it. We will create our end-to-end workflow from grounds up. Same goes for our Lovable app. I will show you it is possible for you because I have built this within just 2 hours. And here are the result. My email address, yes, this is my valid email address, and the likelihood which is high. manthanp@acquisitionx.pro. And if you don't believe me, I'm going to show you. Yeah, so this is my email address, manthanp@acquisitionx.pro. The reason I signed up with Find Email was just to test how it is working like my email address, and it is working just the same. Even Find Email was able to reflect this email address only. Same goes for Prospeo. So yeah, that's the beautiful thing about it. It is actually working for free. The only thing you need to take care is of email verification. You can use Million Verifier, Hunter.io, Zero Bounce, but I am using real email verification because it is a lifetime deal. I only have to pay around $70 for once, and I can use this email verification system for lifetime. So that's how this email verification workflow is genuinely for free. And again, I'm going to show you everything how you can deploy these apps into a Lovable app, as well as how you can connect with your custom domain or your website. Alright, so let's get started. But first of all, let us go to our Blackboard to understand the logic of how it is finding this email address by using MECT function, example permutation and combination. Let's take this example of my email address, which is manthanp@leadgenman.com. So in order to guess this email address, we will need the input of their first name or their full name. The first name in this example is Manthan, last name is Patel, which stands for P, and the company domain, which is leadgenman.com. That's all we need, and that's why we have this input inside our email address, our Lovable app as well. First name, last name and the company domain. Now if you know, all of these email data provider are just guessing or predicting the right email address or valid email address. So they are using the game of permutation and combination, which basically means creating different version and guessing is this email right or not. Yeah, that's actually what is happening in the backend. So what we will do is we will get the input of Manthan. I'm just showing you the example or the logic that we are using inside our N8N app. For example, the first variation could be manthan@leadgenman.com. Second could be manthanpatel@leadgenman.com. Third could be manthanp@leadgenman.com. Because a lot of business email addresses are similar like this, as you might have noticed. It is just combination of first name, last name and creating different variation. mpatel@leadgenman.com. So yeah, the sky is the limit here. Like you can create as many permutation and combination variation that you want. So we will use the same logic. We will create around 200, 300 different variation. For example, manthan.p, then m.p, or if you want to add that department, you can do that as well. For example, manthan.marketing. So we are guessing or predicting the valid email address from all of this variation. So once we have all of this variation, we will send these email addresses to an email verification tool. Since I have the lifetime or LTD subscription of this tool, I don't have to pay a single penny anymore. And if you want this lifetime deal, make sure to check out the description or research section. where you can find this lifetime deal to buy this tool. Yeah, so we will send all of these variations of email address and say verified which one are safe and valid, and remove all the catch-all on invalid. And the beautiful part here is you don't have to pay a single credit to unknown or invalid email address. So let's take this example. I am able to create 200 different variation from this permutation and combination, but only one email address is valid, this one. So I only have to pay 1 credit from my email verification subscription. And for unknown and invalid email addresses, it will return all of those 199 credits back to you. Yeah, so that's the whole game here. In this example, as you can see, I have created 36 different variation of my email address. So we will send all of these 36 email address to our email verification, and it will give out only valid email address, which is this one. Yeah, that's the entire logic. Now let's go into N8N interface and build it from scratch. Awesome, I have named my workflow as email predictor. The first node will be obviously the webhook or the data that we will get from our lovable app. But first of all, let's create our N8N app and then deploy our lovable app. So we are going to use trigger manually since we are just testing it inside our N8N. Next, what data points that we want to get is their first name, last name, or basically their full name and the company domain. So we can use edit fields to create these fields. We can say their first name. Again, I'm going to build everything from scratch, so you can trust me and you can build this alongside with me, so that at the end of this lecture you will also have this email predictor or email guesser for your website that you can offer as a lead magnet. And for the value you will get from lovable, but right now we are just hard coding that value to test it out. Same goes for last name and the company domain. Next, what we want to do is we want to convert all of this value to lowercase. In this example, I have added the lowercase only, but let's say I have entered, let's say month. So sometimes it might cause trouble to create different variation and combination. So we will use a logic to convert all of these input fields, for example, this M into lowercase. So we are going to use a code node for that. So let us open any LLM model. I am using Perplexity since it is the best. So I will say I am creating an email predictor N8N workflow. So let's copy our first 2 nodes and give that information to Perplexity. Now we can say we want this third code node. I want this third code node for converting all the uppercase to lowercase. So can you write me JavaScript code for that? Alright, why we are using JavaScript? Because it is the language. You can use Python as well, but I think JavaScript will work just fine. So let us click on enter. Awesome. So let us copy this code. Let us paste it here. Click on test step. Yeah, so it is able to convert. So again, let us try it out. Awesome. It is able to convert uppercase to lowercase in all of these 3 fields. I have renamed both of these nodes as clean and format data. Next, what we want to do is we want to create different patterns by using permutation and combination. So again, we are going to use code node for that. So we are going to say, create me 50 different, we are going to use the voice, variation of finding the perfect email address, business email address by using permutation and combination. Give me the code node for that. Again, the language will be JavaScript, and research about this thing very deeply and thoroughly. Always use Perplexity because it can do deep research plus search the web at the same time. Yeah, I know ChatGPT also can do it, but I think Perplexity does it better. Let's copy this code and paste it here. Awesome, it is creating our different variation from our email address, manthan.p, mp, etc, etc. Thank you very much, Perplexity. Next, we want to send all of these email addresses, 36 email addresses, to an email verification system and find out which one is valid and which are not. So in this example, I'm going to use reunion email verification. Again, a lifetime deal. You will find the link in the resource section, so make sure to check it out. Now go to API and integration, scroll down, and we cannot use the single email verification because we are sending 36 email and not only one email. So go to bulk email validation. Yeah, so what we want to do is you can submit up to 50,000 email verification as well. Now here you can use, let's say, to Perplexity create 500 different variation or 1000 different variation And it's alright because you don't have to pay a single credit for unknown or invalid email addresses. But to decrease the total or API call hit limits of Reun, I'm just using 36 items and it is working for most of the emails, so that's okay. So we have to create our step 1, which is to submit the emails and create a task. So if we scroll down, we will have step 2 as well. So we will need to use 2 HTTP requests in order to process this email verification system. Yeah, so let us configure the first step. The method is post, as you can see here, and this will be our URL. So we will use HTTP request. The method is post. This is the URL. And for body, we have to send this information. Copy this, enable body, and let's enable the headers of content type, which is application written in JSON code. Copy this, paste it here. Click on expression, open this, paste it here. You can name your task, let's say Manthan demo, and these are the email addresses. So we will use all of these email addresses. Awesome, just like this. And we need to add our API key here. So create your API key. Again, don't get any funny idea, use your own API key. So let us run this workflow and test it. Awesome, so we have 36 items as well, and all of them status are success. So we are done with our step 1. Next, what we want to do is we want to get verified result, like whatever the result are. So we will need 2 things, our API key and our task ID. So where we can find the task ID? From our previous iteration. So again, we are going to use HTTP request, and to configure the settings, this time we have to only use the URL and the method is get. Copy this, paste it here. Now for task ID, we will use expression. Just drag and drop the task ID here. Same goes for API key. And now let us click on test workflow again. Yeah, so we fall into error. The service is receiving too many requests. Why? Because we haven't added any delay or wait node. So we can wait for 5 seconds or 15 seconds. I think it's pretty good. And now let us click on test workflow again. Awesome. So by adding add node, we are avoiding API hit limits of this email verification system. If it is still persistent, we will increase the wait or we will increase the seconds. Awesome. So here are the results. The status is completed and it will iterate all of these 36 items, which one are valid or invalid. So the status is invalid. This means that this is a false email. So if you go to schema, you will be able to see it better. This is our first email, second email, third email, until it'll find out the perfect email. Yeah, so this is my email actually, manthanp@. And if we scroll down, the status is safe. So this is the only email that it is able to find out which is valid from all of this variation. So what we want to do is we want to use another code node to filter out only those emails whose status is safe. So again, we are going to use code node and Perplexity to come up with the code. We can say, hey, figure out a way to find out or filter out from all the permutation and combination. And let's copy all of this data so that it have access what is going on inside our N8N workflow. So let's copy this code and test it. So if we click on table, which is the best email? Yeah, this is my actually email that I shown you. You can see here as well. Yeah, it is safe and the score is 98. Now what we want to do is we want to connect or create a lovable app where we will get the input from the user and we will use another webhook to send the data that we have got from our N8N workflow, which is the best email, back to the lovable app. Alright, so that's how you can create this type of custom workflows. So we can use another example just to show you. Suprava Sabat, click on test workflow. Awesome. So we are able to find out Suprava's email as well. So if you want to check it with, let's say, find email or Prospeo, you can do that as well. So I'm going to enter the full name of Suprava and the company name acquisitionx.pro. Awesome. So it is able to find out that email address only, suprava@acquisitionx.pro, suprava@acquisitionx.pro. So again, all of these data providers are just guessing or predicting which one is the valid email or not by using all of this permutation and combination. Yeah, and if you want to check it for, let's say, Manthan Patel, and it will do just the same. Yeah, so this is the result that we have got by using our N8N workflow as well. But the beautiful part here is it's for free. You don't have to pay pros fee a single penny or any of these data providers. Again, I don't have anything against these data providers, but they are ripping you off by using this type of simple workflows into their backend. Yeah, that's all from my side with this N8N workflow. If you have any question, do let me know. Now we want to connect this with a front end. So we are going to use lovable.dev. You can use Replit, you can use Cursor, whatever you like. So I have used this prompt, create a form component for email address predictor tool. The three inputs are first name, last name and the company domain. And add a submit button that says generate email prediction. This one. You can customize this button. I am just showing you as an example. And feel free to customize the UI UX, the color schema according to your brand. Now it will create you something like this. Next, what we want to do is we want to add a webhook inside N8N and paste the link for environment variable. So this is my N8N webhook URL, this one. So let us go back to N8N. Instead of the first trigger, let's use a webhook. Search for webhook trigger. Always use this trigger, right? Because we want to trigger this workflow or execute or launch this workflow once we get the input from the user. So copy this URL, give it to Lovable, and it will do everything on its own. So let's test it out right now. Listen for test event and let us fill in our data. So once we click on this button, we will get the result or the output here. Awesome. So it executed our workflow successfully. And it will get the input that we have used in the form, which is the first name, last name and the domain. Next, it will trigger the entire workflow and we want to send the data that we will get back to our Lovable app interface. So we are going to use send response. That's it. Search for webhook and use respond to webhook. So it will send this information that we will get in our last node back to our Lovable application. So let us click on test workflow. Let's fill out the form again. So it will execute our workflow and this button will wait until we are done or we have got the result from our N8N. Awesome. We have the email address display and the likelihood. Again, you can obviously change this. It's just matter of changing inside Lovable. But yeah, I just want to show you that if I can do it, you can do it too. Like within just 3 to 4 different prompts in Lovable, I'm able to create this email predictor or email cacher like kind of form, and I can relabel it as lead gen man or acquisition X, whatever you like. So let us click on publish and we want to use our custom domain. So we will upgrade to this plan. Awesome. So I'm done with the payment and I have added the slug or the URL of free email finder, and now anyone can come to this URL and find out email addresses, or better say guess or predict email addresses. So yeah, the sky's the limit here. You don't have to pay this hefty living fees to these email providers. You can build this something in-house. And the reason I'm using this email verification tool is because I want something very quick, fast and rapid. Again, that's all from my side. If you have any question, do let me know. I'm always happy to help. This website MailMeTrend has been getting so many free organic traffic by offering free tools like spam checker. You can see here they are getting more than 10,000, 11,000 free organic monthly visit onto their site, and you can build this type of free tools by using N8N without spending any single penny. Yeah, so you can create this type of free tools just by using N8N without you having to write a single line of code and convert it into a lead magnet that you can offer to your audience. So in this lecture, I'm going to show you how you can build this from scratch, plus how we're going to use lovable.dev or Cursor to build a front end for this beautiful spam checker. So let's get started, and the first node will be obviously the trigger node. Instead of using this manually twice trigger, we are going to use webhook. Webhook basically means the data that we will get from our Lovable app. For instance, the user input the subject line and the email copy. We will get that here inside our N8N application. As you can see, we will replace that webhook data here, which is the subject line and the body. Next, we are going to use a code node. Again, it's for free. You don't have to pay a single penny to it. Here we are writing a very heavy JavaScript code. As you can see here, it's around 650 lines. But again, I haven't write this code on my own. I have used ChatGPT for it. So what I will do is I will make sure that this entire workflow will be in the resource section so that you don't have to come up with this code on your own. The reason I'm not showing everything from scratch on how I come up with this code by using ChatGPT, because It took a lot of iteration and prompting back again and again to get this final version that is fully functional and working with our N8N workflow. But before that, let me show you the test demo. Awesome. So here is our original body and original subject line. Now what we want to do is we want to detect all the spammy words like mail return is doing. For example, financial, guaranteed, ASAP. We are doing the same inside our N8N workflow. So act now, limited time offer, urgent. Now we have feed all of these spam words from our directory. I have created this directory where I want to avoid this type of words or this type of phrases in my email copies. So it is totally customizable to you, and even if you don't have these deep spam word triggers, I will make sure that I will include this PDF file in the resource section as well. So do make sure to check it out. So this JavaScript code will detect all of the spammy words, and it will consider the total count, and it will also give suggestion on where to replace it. You can see it will also indicate the spam level and the likelihood. Your email will almost certainly be blocked by spam filters. It will also detect spam words from our subject line. For example, urgent, then free, and price. As well as it will also give formatting issues. All caps is also a big no-no for subject lines, as you might know. Same goes for exclamation marks. Exclamation mark and all caps of urgent. Literally everything, and again I am not using any LLM model, just by using this simple code it is giving me everything. Same goes for suggestions. Remove this urgency trigger and the word urgent. Normalize capitalization instead of all caps, and remove exclamation marks for subject line. Now what we will do is we will display all of this data to our lovable front end back to the user. Then the spam risk level is very high, again very likely to be marked as spam. It will also give us the overall score, total number of spam words 3, total number of formatting issue 2, etc, etc. Then what we want to do is we want to also make sure that there are no links or link shorteners inside our email copy. I have divided our entire logic into 3 different parts. The first part is to analyze entire body or email copy. Here it will detect all the spam words and will give the total list of the spam words. Plus it will also give suggestion like don't use any capitalization, don't overemphasize on the exclamation mark, etc, etc. So I have added suggestion in all of these 3 categories. The second category is of subject line. Again it will detect spam words, as well as it will also tell the length of our subject line. It should be between 5 to 50 words. It is totally customizable to you. I'm just giving you as an example. So it should be between 5 to 50 words only. And the last category is of link shorteners or link in general. So if it detects any link inside our email copy, it will display that link and give us suggestion. Yeah, so these are the 3 sections that I have divided my entire code. Basically logic. Again, I have just told, hey ChatGPT, do this and do this. If you are good at English, English will be becoming the programming language of all AI. So be good at English and you are good to go. Yes, this is what we are doing inside our entire code. And now talking about link analysis. So it has detected the link of acquisition X, and lastly it will list out all the main words, spam word list from body, spam word list from our subject line, and any link detected. And lastly the overall summary. So what we can do is we can just reflect this overall summary back to our lovable app. That's all for this workflow. Again, I know it is very straightforward and easy, but you can also customize as per your liking. For example, if you want to add the readability count, for example, how much words are there, what is the read time, what are these tags or hashtag, feel free to do it. Just tell ChatGPT and you're good to go. Now what we want to do is, instead of using or triggering our code manually, it is raining too fast. So if you are hearing raining noise in the background, I'm sorry for that. Yeah, so instead of using this trigger manually, we want to trigger our workflow once the user submit our form in our app in Lovable. So we will use webhook for that. We are going to use test URL as of now, but if you have deployed it, use the production URL. As the name suggests, it is for testing and it is for production. Now let us go to lovable.dev, log in or sign up with your account, and let's start everything from scratch. Here we have to write a really good prompt in order to get our app working inside our N8N workflow. So we can copy this and let's go to ChatGPT or Claude, whatever LLM that you are using. I am using lovable.dev to build my front end and connect with my N8N workflow. So I need your help on how I can do it. First of all, I need a very good prompt to build the UI in lovable.dev. So give me the prompt, or what do we want to accomplish from this N8N workflow. Here is the code. I just pasted that entire code so that our Claude or ChatGPT has the knowledge what we are doing here. And just give it a go. Awesome. So here is our prompt. Let's copy this entire prompt. Let's go to lovable and paste it here. And let's give it a go. I think we should have added that N8N webhook that we just got. This URL. So we can say to our Claude, here is our N8N webhook. And I'm just curious what will be the method. Will it be get or post? So let's ask Claude for that. Until it is running, let us go back to our lovable app. And yeah, it is writing our entire code or entire front end for us. Awesome. So the webhook will be post method. So give me entire prompt to tell to lovable that I want to connect my N8N workflow with this specific webhook URL. Paste that URL and write me prompt for that. Basically what we want to do is we want to add this N8N webhook to our lovable environment. Awesome. So it is also adding the JSON with 2 fields. Mainly I want to tell lovable to connect my N8N workflow with lovable app. So I need to add my N8N webhook in the environment. So give me the prompt for that. The prompt engineering is always the game of trial and error. It's always about reiterating until you fix your problem. Yeah, so we have the error here. Let us click on try to fix. And the best part here is it will fix it on its own. You don't have to do a thing. Awesome. So it is telling our lovable dev integration to add this webhook endpoint to lovable environment variable. So we will do this. There you go. Within just matter of minutes, it has created this beautiful form where the user can submit the subject line and the email body, and they will get the result of their entire emails analysis or spam analysis of their cold email copy. It is looking something similar like this. Yeah, so next what we want to do is we want to configure our webhook. So we are going to copy this code and paste it here. So it will add our N8N workflow endpoint inside our application in Lovable. Awesome. So this will use the URL that we provided instead of mock data. I have updated the email spam checker to connect to your specific API endpoint. Yeah, that's really good. So it has also generated the fallback data. So we don't want any fallback mock data. So we will say remove that. Remove fallback mock data. If the API is not working, we want to know that there is an error and we don't want to display any fallback mock data. So it will remove all the fallback data as requested. Awesome. So all fallback data has been removed. So in order to test this, we need to change to post method. Awesome. So let's do one thing. We want to respond using respond to webhook node. So once both of these nodes are finished, then it will respond to our lovable app from here. So let's open this in a full screen and let us click on test workflow. Yeah, so also we will also need to change this into an expression or data that we will get from webhook. So let's play around. Let's test it at something. Manthan is accurate. So it is just random data. Don't worry. Awesome. So it should trigger our entire workflow. But first of all, need to drag and drop both of the subject line and the body that we will get from here. So scroll down and you will get under body 2 of this thing that is inputted by the user. And now we want to test it again. Click on test workflow. For subject line, I am using this urgent Your free prize is waiting. And for email body, free offer, act now to claim your guaranteed prize. I am adding as many spam words as I possibly can. Same goes for the link. So let us click on check for spam and it should trigger our workflow here. Awesome, we have the result here. The subject line spam words, yup. So these were the 3 spam words. These were the email body spam words, link found, and the overall quality, as well as email deliverability very likely to be marked as spam. So you can offer this type of free tools as a lead magnet to your audience to grab their email address, or even if you don't want to grab their email address, it's alright. Like you can host it for free because you don't have to pay a single penny inside your N8N, since we are relying on JavaScript code, as well as all you need to do is just deploy this application into your custom domain. Yeah, that's all from my side. If you have any question, do let me know. And again, this is just to give you an example or to open up your mind on the possibilities inside N8N. Yeah, I know you can create way better spam detector. You can add much more features and functionalities like readability, this kind of tags, how much words are there, etc. etc. But I don't want you to waste your time in those nitty-gritty details. I just want to focus on the core concept or the foundation that you can create this type of tools for free using Lovable or Cursor to build your front end and host it on your site so that you can provide value to your audience for free. This Lovable app, I will post it inside my GitHub. Same goes for this email checker workflow. It will be in the resource section. So make sure to check it out. And that's all for this lecture, and I will see you in the next one.